Salutations, all you Jabba Fofi spiders. Climb on into the stinky dragon and lap up our latest libation. Hide our senses tingling. It's a mixture of foliage tea leaves, camouflage coconut milk, long limb lime slices, absolutely no water, and topped with whipped cream. One nip of this anacroid nectar and your tongue will feel... I can't actually feel my tongue anymore. Okay. Previously, our adventurers were in pursuit of an imprisoned pancake. Natty overheard an Undying discourse, disguised herself as a gnoll, and deceived the privateer with a fictional fight of feces. This bought B team enough time to pluck Pancake and another prisoner clear out of the cove and return their sweet friend of Pismum. Now they find themselves at the stormy shores of Endridge Bay at a home that's close to Tolv's heart. Fling over a brew and let's buckle up for this bedtime tale.
Really good.
That was good. That was good.
We haven't recorded in like 3.5 weeks at this point. I genuinely don't remember what we did last time we recorded, and then you just did the entire recap like that, Micah.
Okay, so we got out of the pirate cove. We blew up the cave entrance. We got out with the real Pancake and Laskiel. Laskiel grabbed the map, and now we're looking for the sea drinker because they're being held captive somewhere else.
Yeah, and we saw Infernus talking to I think it's the privateer.
Yes, and we're going to Tolv's like former buddy's old house.
What kind of house was it?
Seaside house. Probably what do they call those? It's like a style of home. Asking.
Oh. Like a stilt house or something?
Like a lighthouse?
Boathouse?
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Tales from the Sticky Dragon. I'm your dungeon master, Gustavo Sorola. I was trying to see if someone's getting an inspiration die or not. For no reason at all, I miss Dorkius. Just going to drop that out there.
Oh.
What?
Dorkius.
It sounded, Micah's intro sounded kind of reminded me of a little Dorkius.
Dorkius from C Squad, the Tavern Tales, which is available at stickydragonpod.com if you're at any level of Patreon supporter.
Thank you, Chris. I set that up and you've spiked it. Give yourself an inspiration die.
Yes.
My name's Gustavo Sorola. I'm your dungeon master. I'm going to hit our 4 players with an arrow.
Pew!
Oh, yeah. Everyone roll for initiative. And while you're rolling, this week's arrow question is, what would your character get as a birthday gift for the player on your right? So character getting a gift for the player to your right.
Oh, I rolled a 10.
9.
14.
3.
So it looks like it's Doug, Tolv, Natty, Gunther.
Correct.
So Doug, the player to your right is Blaine.
Yes, it is. Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to another thrilling episode of Tales from the Stinky Dragon, the Canon campaign, Campaign 3, the third campaign in the installment, not including the little bonus campaigns we do called Tavern Tales that are available on our Patreon.
You guys are weird today.
I play Doug Boone, the Artificer Bugbear, level 5. And, I thought long and hard about this, guys. Hello, Doug Boone here, taking over for Bob Boy here. Blaine Gibson, quite the interesting gentleman. He's got a lot of qualities to him, a lot of interests that he has. A lot of very
Intwists got me.
Intwists. But being an artificial, I thought I would want to build something for Blaine as a gift. And so knowing kind of like his love for video games and also working out and being a big buff guy, I made him a protein shaker, but when you turn it to the side, it's actually a Game Boy.
Oh, wow. Doug, thank you. This is amazing.
Well, just don't get when you pour it, the liquid into the protein shaker, just don't get it on the game. It's electronic on the outside, so that cause some issues.
Okay. What kind of games can I play on this thing, Doug?
You could play GoldenEye.
Oh, that's great, Doug. I love that.
The classic Game Boy game.
Doug is not versed in what the Game Boy games are. Didn't think this one through.
Just say Tetris.
Head twist.
There it is.
Editor, edit that one out. Only head twist.
Doug, that's very
the DM
thoughtful.
channel, as you once you were asked what games were on it, I just wrote say Tetwist, say Tetwist.
Tetris.
So I hope he likes it. Don't tell him what his gift is. I want to surprise him with it for his birthday.
Wow. That's great, Doug.
That's a great
Oh,
gift.
that you, Blaine? Oh,
That's me, Doug.
been listening this whole time.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Doug. That's I think it's super thoughtful. That's a great start to this question.
You're welcome.
Who got next? Next up is
I have to point out something really quick, Gus, so the audience kind of can be clued into something. You have a certain acoustic handicap affecting you right now, Gus, and I can tell you're being quieter in order to augment it, and it's getting very radio vibes. I like it.
Ooh.
Very NPR Gus.
I want to make sure I changed my mixer or my I guess my audio input device, and I want to make sure that I'm not peaking it and that the wave looks healthy. So I'm trying not to get above that.
You got a new XLR I see there. It looks good on you guys. It's nice.
Thanks.
Nice. Is that
Hopefully there's
braided?
no steel eye in this episode while
He
you
grew out of his other XLR.
Tolv, you are up, and you're getting a gift for John.
Okay. Well, hey, it's Blaine. I just received a lovely gift from Doug, and I play Tolv, the male orc barbarian, and he's a level 5. And I'm just gonna scooch out of here real quick so that Tolv can get in. It's me, Tolv. Good to see you, everybody. So I am getting a gift for John Reisinger. And if I know John, he loves the movies. If you want to listen as a Patreon follower, you can go check out Stinky Pop. I'm so sorry to be plugging all of our stuff, but he loves the movies. And I could not think of a better thing than to get him than some like pelts or furs that he can like cuddle up in while watching a nice movie film. But John also is a lover of animals. And so I made them these pelts and furs. They're actually what is it called? Ecological friendly. You know, they're sourced. What's the word I'm looking for? Sustainably sourced. So I've actually been just taking the loose fur from Doug, and I've been making a big pelt fur. And I hope John enjoys it.
You know, I will say that you are correct on everything. The one thing that Tolv, and this is because we haven't gotten to know each other very well, is that I live in a part of the world where it is hot all the time. However, movie theaters are often quite AC'd. So it is a good place to have a good blankie to cuddle up
must
with.
be difficult to score an attack with such a high AC.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
That's good, Gunther.
Plus, also, I think in the world you live in, John, there are magics that cast cold spells in our domiciles that allow us to remain
Gus, there ain't
cool
enough
while
magic
indoors.
spells that keep me comfortable during the summers of Austin, okay? I'm literally in a tank top right now and shorts. Like, it's just...
Those magics have to counter the evil wizard Urquhart and his stranglehold over the Fey energy.
I've already battled Urquhart this season, and we're not even into summer yet.
Oh, real great meta talk there.
Funds of Texas.
I'm also like as hairy as Doug. I mean, you can see the hair on me in the cam. But all that to say, I do love a good blankie. It will forever be something that I hope I never grow out of loving, is a good blanket to have, especially if you're going to watch a movie.
Yeah.
Very true.
Good. Thanks, Tolv. And that's an interesting segue because next up we have Natty buying a gift for Chris.
All right. Hello. I'm John. And I play Natty Wonder, the Drow Warlock. And if y'all know anything about me, Natty Wonder, it's that, I'm sure you know a lot of things at this point. I'm kind of an open book. But my mamas didn't raise me to be a bad gift giver. Gift giving is a big ordeal in my little community because, you know, we're very close knit. We're very into like showing we care for each other. And so gifts, that's sometimes how people really know you care for them. So when you're getting a gift, you're going to want to do your research. You're going to want to make it thoughtful, and you're going to want to make it just bespoke to the person you're going to give it to. So they feel just that little tinge of specialness when you hand it over.
It shows you care.
Yes, I agree. And Karen is sharing, and Sharon is Karen. And so I'm going to share with this Chris Demarais. And what I got for Chris was actually, I got him a ice cream cake in the shape of Converse shoes. And the whole thing is wrapped in a box that is wrapped in wrapping paper that is a progressive tax code that taxes the rich properly.
Wow, what an elaborate gift.
It's everything I
thought
like.
I was an inventor, but wow.
So I felt like that was kind of like it's got layers to it like a cake. And I hope, Chris, you enjoy it.
Oh, and the bottom of the cake has Mississippi mud pie ice cream because it's like a shoe, so it would have mud on the bottom of it.
I like how he's telling you what your gift is.
Yeah. Hey, he can do whatever he wants.
Such a
special little
specific
boy
flavor
out here.
Yeah. Sounds like you've learned a lot. You really did your research, Natty. I'm going to commend you. You talked about doing the research, and it sounds like you did the work.
If you're going to do something, do it well.
Thank you so much, Natty.
You're welcome.
I will cherish it for 30 minutes until it's gone.
Damn, I mean, I was going to say you're going to eat that faster than 30 minutes, I think.
Yeah. So Chris didn't like it. It seems like 30 minutes.
No, a whole cake in 30 minutes, I think is impressive.
Ice cream cake is not only large, but it's also ice cream, a food that is difficult to eat rapidly without pain involved.
True. All right. Thanks, Natty. That's great. I love it. And then last up, we have Gunther, who's getting a gift for Barbara.
I'm Chris Demarais. I play Gunther, the Crowfolk fighter. And for Madam Barbara, I have a very special gift in my village. What it is to my understanding that you have found your life mate and will soon be entering your ceremonial burrowing hole together.
Yes, that's exactly what we're doing, Gunther.
Yes, and so I have. It is common for my people to give each other pebbles and such that mean things to each other, and so I have found for you a Orpina pebble, and what I have done is I have put it in with sand and in a sand container and had it rocked so that it is very smooth and perfect. And then I have taken it and it is with my smithing materials. I have sliced it in two so that there are two equal pieces. And now you can have one, and you and your mate shall have the other.
Wow, that's actually really kind, Gunther. That takes a lot of effort.
Did you say? I want to make sure I'm picturing this correctly. Did you say an Orbina pebble?
Yes.
What is that?
I got to Google that.
It's a particular type of pebble.
It's probably a really nice pebble.
It's a very nice mineral that we use to symbolize love.
I know what you mean, Gunther, but for the audience, can you spell Orbina for me so that they can Google it correctly?
Orbina, Orpina.
Orpina. I gotta say, Gunther, that's a really nice gift, but we just have a honeymoon registry fund. So if you want to just contribute to that, that's cool too.
You want different types of rocks.
Oh, that's funny. Great gift, but in real life, stick to the registry. That's for our listeners.
Yeah. I mean,
it's there for a reason.
It's the thought that counts.
Okay, cool. All right, thanks, Gunther. That was great. I looked it up. That's a cool looking pebble, Orpina. Fizmum leads you outside and begins walking through the streets of Endridge Bay out towards the docks. And, the storm continues to rage outside, just raining nonstop. And of course, this is what Fizmum was referring to about the weather needing to be better before you could depart. As the storm rages on, you wonder how long you're going to have to walk in it. Fizmum, almost sensing it, says,
"It's not much further."
And she points just ahead onto the docks. Tolv, you follow her outstretched hand and finger to the docks, and you see something familiar.
Oh, no.
You recognize the fishing house in the distance that Fizmum is pointing at. You recognize it as the fishing house of your mentor, Bjorn Boger.
Oh, home sweet home!
The type of house I was looking for is a roorbu, by the way, to answer the earlier question.
Isn't that someone who likes Japanese stuff?
No, I don't think so.
What are you thinking of?
Weeder.
Oh.
All right. So in lieu of a recap, I'm going to read my last 2 notes that I have on my sheet.
Blaine gave you a great recap.
No, I got it. Here's the last 2 notes John took while we recorded. Last skill has a map. Giggy has a bell.
Look at Barbara's registry for wedding.
Do you remember what that bell was from?
Nope. That's why I'm mad at myself right now. You do that thing. You're like, I'll know what I mean, and you never know what you mean when you write it down.
Does anyone remember where that bell's from?
Giggy has a bell. Giggy has a bell.
Was it from? Oh, I know what it was. It was the bell that was rang whenever that one guy that we fought and shot. He rang the bell to like summon guards and.
Well, the bookkeeper.
I think we thought that he was summoning guards, but he was actually summoning lunch, I want to say.
Why does Giggy have the bell then?
I mean, if he's hungry, just ding ding.
Giggy reached into Laskiel's pocket, if I recall properly, after Laskiel pulled the map out and then pulled out the bell.
Okay.
As Micah said, clearly he just does not ring a bell for you.
Wow.
That's true.
Inspiration die from Micah. That's a great one. Oh, and Giggy also has that axe, maybe?
Or he does. He does have the axe.
We'll deal with that, yeah. On to the episode.
Let's do it.
Even after but a few moments of walking down to the docks, the unrelenting downpour and easterly winds managed to soak everyone to the bone. With the mantle of cheerless clouds swirling overhead, it feels nigh impossible to guess the time of day were it not for your weary muscles reminding you to rest. With every splashing wave, a spraying surge of foam batters the paint-chipped fishing house before you. A 3-story rorbu constructed with its west end on shore and east end on poles that pierce the choppy waters. Vismum shivers the rain off her broad shoulders, clutching her surcoat tighter. She pulls out a rusty key from her pocket and offers it to you.
I know it's not much to look at, but this fishing house has been a stable staple of Endridge Bay for decades. The previous owner was a generous soul that offered his home to strangers. It only seems fitting his charity should live on. Speaking of,
Vismum unties a hefty jingling bag from her belt and holds it out.
Pancake and I are indebted to you. Here is but a token of thanks. Now, if you'll excuse me, I very much want to hold my partner for the first time in weeks. If you all need anything, come find me at the High 3.
She offers you all a warm smile, and the rainfall barely masks her tears of joy. And with that, she heads back up the stormy shore into town.
So who is I would have taken the key if that's all right with everybody else.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I want to get the crew inside, but I'm also kind of excited to get into Bjorn's house.
Would you also have taken the jingling bag as well?
I mean, to be honest, I think being back in Bjorn's house, I would have been more focused on that because it feels like home. So I'll leave that to somebody else if somebody wants to take it.
I'll take it.
All right. Natty has the jingling bag, and Tolv seemingly takes the key.
And it's just us in here, right? Now that Fizzmom and Pancake have left, or is there anyone else in here?
And
what about
Laskiel? All of your NPCs, Laskiel, Captain Grumbles, Giggy.
Good. The gang's all here.
They're with us.
Yeah. Oh, and of course, Private Parts. How could I forget?
How could we forget? How could we ever forget Private Parts is with us? We never do.
I don't know if we're all going to fit in this house. It's so big, so many people.
So did they mention like who actually owns this house, or is this kind of like the town's like Airbnb type thing?
I believe all you were told was that it was a house that was previously owned by a generous person, and it seems, I guess, if Fizzmum has the key, maybe Fizzmum owns it.
Oh, that makes sense.
Did we not learn in the last one that it belonged to Bjorn, the guy that was like significant to me? Okay.
Yes, you recognize this fishing house as the one belonging to your mentor, Bjorn.
Yeah, so, Doug, I don't know if you asked that question or if it was Barbara. I hope you're enjoying your gift anyways.
It was me, Doug.
Yeah, okay. So this belongs to Bjorn. He was a very kind and generous man. So we should get inside. It's so rainy out here. So Tolv's going to open the door and go in.
You go to unlock the door and open it, and you see a note pinned to the door.
Ooh, I'm going to look at it.
What's it say?
Yeah. I'm also curious what her payment was.
No. Yeah. Keep him guessing. Kick the door in.
Okay, so I look at the note and it says, Bjorn, your order is ready for pickup. Come by. And then it says Untamed Flame Forge during normal business hours. And then there's a little frog emoji. And then it says Shannon. Or at least I think that's how it's pronounced. It's Shanan. Gunther, do you know a Shannon? They seem to be a croak folk.
Wait, do I?
That name sounds familiar.
Gunther, you do recognize that name. It's been a while, but it reminds you of someone you know. Your aunt, Shannon.
Shannon.
Yeah, what do you remember about her?
When I was younger, my father, Gottfried, he rarely spoke of his sister. And whenever he did, he would get sad. And then he'd walk away. He did not like to talk about her. But you see, my mother, she said that she used to be around all the time, especially when we were first hatched. But eventually, she became around less and less. And I do not know why we have lost touch with her. Once you leave the village, you leave the community. And so I'm excited to see her because I have also left the community, so we are probably much to talk about.
Seems like it.
It sounds like she left to come live here. Maybe in this kind of like fish town.
Fish town.
Has she ever spoken of the sea twinkle before, Gunther?
No, not that I know of, but I was very young.
I hope she's like a cool aunt and not one of those aunts that pinches your cheeks and goes,
I know.
"Oh, look who it is."
They have the worst stingers. They always make me swell up.
That's right.
I just think that's a pretty cool aunt, actually, showing affection and stuff like that.
To each their own.
A cool aunt or a cant.
Also, Natty, what did we get for payment? Just out of curiosity.
Oh, is that what's in this bag?
There's something jingling.
I open it up. What's in there?
You open up the bag and take a look inside, and there are a lot of gold pieces. In fact, there's 780 gold pieces.
Wow.
Whoa. Are we
right.
splitting that, or?
Doug, what was 780 divided by 4?
Oh, that's a very easy calculation. 780 gold divided by 4, because there's 4 of us, is 195.
That didn't sound at all like you were delaying. Yeah. So you can put it into Google.
Well, I think one of the most important things you could do when dealing with math is teach people, the methods that you go through when you're doing it in your head, so that they could do it too.
Yeah, I would agree.
And for your information, I was using the calculator app, not Google.
I'm going to go ahead and add 195 to my...
Cool.
That's fine. That's fine.
I smell a shopping spree coming.
What did people... Hey, old guy Gus, what did people do for D&D before they could Google, like, special kinds of pebbles to give people and how to do math?
When you grow up, you're not going to always have a calculator in your pocket.
Dude,
They genuinely said that.
Oh my God.
It'll be
Lies.
implemented into your wrist.
Rest in peace, Texas Instruments.
You also see a note and a hoop or a ring made of some kind of translucent ore.
Hoop or oh, okay. Ahem.
Doctor?
This is from Fizmum, and they said, when I moved out to Endridge Bay, this bell band offered me a vision of a fresh start and a new family. I owe much of that happy ending to you. It seems only fair to offer the bell band to you along with half my life savings. Oof, I don't know if we want to take this money now.
Yeah, no. Oh, no.
May they both bring you good fortune.
Afterlife savings. Oh,
Maybe we should, I don't know, donate this to charity or something.
or maybe give it back to them. Also, just so you know, Natty, that would mean the entire life savings is 1,560 gold pieces.
Love it.
So quick at math, impressive.
Go, Holly. Duck, you so quick on the draw with them mathematics. I can't even
So
think
good.
that fast. So, yeah, I'm going to let y'all decide what to do with your money. I'm not here to tell you what to do with your earnings, okay? So I divvy out the money, and then Natty sees jewelry. Natty's going to try out jewelry. So Natty puts the bell band on.
Yeah, you take a look at it, and it's like a hoop or a ring made of some kind of translucent ore, and it's roughly the circumference of a bucket.
Oh.
And you see runic symbols etched on the inner rim.
So it's the size of a bucket. I guess I'd try to put my head through.
Like a belt?
Bell band. bell band.
Yeah.
Bell band?
Does anyone recognize the runic symbols or can read them?
You all can make wisdom checks, I guess. See if any of you recognize it if you want.
I imagine we're all looking at it as Natty's taking it out and putting it on. So
Yeah.
What's my wisdom modifier?
I rolled a 14.
13.
Don't worry, guys. I've got this. 1.
Jeez. 15. I got no wisdom modifier.
Tolv's just looking right at Natty's
Yeah.
face.
And I am looking at your character sheet. So one moment while I do that.
Is there a language that we need to
Usually
know?
runes are a language.
Natty and Doug, you both recognize some of the symbols. You can't entirely read it, but you feel like it's some kind of ancient celestial. I know both of you can speak celestial, but this is an old version. It would be like in modern day trying to read Old English. We're like, I know some of those words, but it doesn't quite make sense.
King James Celestial. Got it. It's a Christian. Never
What?
mind.
Okay, I was like,
The King James version of the Bible was nonsense. You read it and you're like, what is this?
Oh,
John, you know
I
what I'm
see.
talking about? Am I right?
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
I
Moving on.
It seems like, as you're examining it, Natty and Doug, well, I guess Natty, you're the
Yeah.
one holding it. As you're looking at the symbols, you can tell the bell band seems like it's warm to your touch. And when when you hold it and you're looking through at the runes, it seems like looking through the hoop itself is kind of cloudy.
Oh.
what if you look up to the sky?
Partly cloudy, 40% chance of rain. So the roughly translated, the celestial that you can pick out is something that along the lines of past, present, future, present, past, present, future.
Yeah, that makes no sense. Is it large enough that I could put like my face through it, like through the cloudiness?
You don't know if you could put your face through it, but it kind of like is the size of your head more or less, but it would be close.
Okay, well, I don't think it'll fit around my head since I've got this voluptuous wig. I take the bell band and I put it on Doug's head.
I don't know if my head's much smaller than yours.
You consent, Doug?
Yeah, I'll try.
A lot of brains.
Yeah, I want the brains and the leader of the operation to see what needs to be seen.
Okay. I think I might have given leadership up last
I'm the
time.
leader at the moment.
Yeah, I'm gonna still give it to Doug.
Okay, could Doug kind of like look at it and see if there's a way to kind of look through it or like
I think it's a headband.
I don't know.
You can kind of see through it. It looks cloudy.
And I can't fit my head through it, I assume.
It looks like it would fit on your head.
Okay, I'll put
Yeah.
it on my head.
Okay. You lift up the bell band and you put it over your head, and it seems to kind of sit on your head like a crown. And as you put it on, you hear like the sounding of a bell.
Could I look over at Giggy and see that they're not bringing the bell that they have right now?
Just throwing it at your face.
Ding, 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 ding.
This is like not like a small bell. I'm talking like Liberty Bell, church bell, like a dong, like a really reverberating bell. Not like a little tinny bell. And, flashing before your eyes, you see visions appearing before you. You see a vision of a small animal, a rabbit.
Ooh.
And you also see someone chasing the rabbit and getting angry.
Oh, Stelmer Fudd.
That wascally
And, like,
rabbit.
I like while seeing this, I hear that bell chiming the whole time.
You hear like once, like just a really loud one ring of a bell.
Okay. Could I tell if I've seen this before? Like, it's like a memory, or does it seem like something that's like currently happening? I guess I don't know if I'd be able to tell.
Make a wisdom check.
Didn't you have a vision where your dad was taking you hunting?
Yeah.
Oh.
20.
Wow.
You know that this is not something you've seen before. This must be something else.
So either something I haven't seen or something that's like currently happening, maybe somewhere else.
Okay. Maybe everybody should take a turn and we'll just kind of keep these things in mind.
Oh, me next.
Yeah, just before I take this off, I'm trying to figure out if I recognize at least the place this is in, the location.
It's a forest of some kind. It's hard to say anything more specific than that. There's a lot of trees.
Okay. Doug pops it off his head and hands it over to Tolv. Let me know if you see like a rabbit in a forest or something else.
Okie dokie. Tolv puts it on.
All right. Tolv, you put the bell band on your head and you hear in your mind like the really loud sounding of a bell. And before you, you see a vision. You see what appears to be an hourglass sitting on a forge. And a smith or someone destroys the hourglass with their tools. But as they pull back from the strike, the hourglass reforms itself and they continue striking the hourglass over and over. And it just continues to reshape and reform itself on the forge.
Okay. Pass that information along to the team. Someone's very upset at an hourglass. I think that they ran out of time playing the game of life or like Uno or something. I don't know.
Neither of those are timed games. What are you talking about?
Okay, Monopoly.
That's not a time game either.
Okay. Scrabble.
No.
That is timed, yeah.
Oh.
If you play it the hardcore
Okay, I was
way.
gonna say it doesn't come with a timer.
Okay, Boggle. How about Boggle?
Don't wake Daddy.
Don't wake Daddy, yeah.
Thanks for watching this episode of Tales from the Stinky Dragon. Hey, speaking of Tales from the Stinky Dragon, did you know there are many, many ways you can directly support the show? One of those ways is by checking out our online store at store.stinkydragonpod.com and picking up some awesome merchandise. We have products featuring not only every campaign, but every player's character as well. Everything from hats to shirts, to hoodies, to stickers, to mugs. All things sticky can be found at store.stinkydragonpod.com. Plus, as an added bonus, if you make a purchase at store.stinkydragonpod.com, you might get a personalized thank you audio message from one of our cast or crew. Talk about value. So open up a new window right now, head over to store.stinkydragonpod.com and tell them Gus sent you. I rolled like a 35 on my persuasion, so you have to. Go. What do you wait? Go.
Did you know that we make a post show for every episode of Tales from Sticky Dragon? It's called Second Wind, and it's where we look at the gaming module to learn how things could have gone differently, what we did right, what we did wrong, and what the heck we were thinking. Here's the clip. Here's how you make a good adventure. Don't just make a dungeon where it's like, oh, here's a trap or here's a monster. Well, why does this room exist? What would be the practical use of this space? Why is it here?
There is a metallic, shiny, singing bowl sitting on the table in the middle of the room. It is enchanted to offer a guided sleep meditation to anyone that walks through the door.
That's a perfect example. This isn't even meant to be a trap. This is a meditation room, a spiritual room for the people who live in this space that we're traveling through, and it becomes a trap.
It's us clashing with something that's already existing, and it makes that world seem so much more flushed out.
Wow, I actually sound almost smart there. Second Wind is the perfect companion piece for Tales from a Sticky Dragon, and you can find every episode on our Patreon at stinkydragonpod.com. We need your support to keep making the show, so please go to stinkydragonpod.com to join our party and get access to Second Wind and a ton of other exclusive shows and perks. Thank you.
So you say you saw an hourglass. Do you have like someone who owns an hourglass, or does this did it look familiar to you? Have you seen that before?
I saw like a smith, like a blacksmith. I don't know. Gus, do I remember anything? Does any of this look familiar?
Make me a wisdom check. Let's see how it goes.
Okay. That would be a 9. What? What?
You're not sure. Something about the hourglass seems familiar, but you can't quite place it. Maybe maybe it was in a dream. It's hard to say.
Hourglass. Okay. Hold on, let me consult my notes. Hourglass.
Have Gunther have a go.
Oh. Okay. Let me see. See Natty's wife conjures an hourglass of black sand. Haven't seen each other in quite a while. Catch up on lost time and talk about Gigi the Hourglass's time limit on their interaction. Okay, so this is weird, okay, but Natty, you had a vision one time when you went to bed and you shared this with the class, I think. And basically you met up with your wife, but there was an hourglass that was counting down until the end of your interaction. So maybe
Didn't it have special colored sand in it? Did the
black sand.
Yeah, does your vision have the same color?
I don't know, does it, Gus?
It appears that the sand was black in your vision.
Okay,
Yeah,
there
black
you
sand,
go.
yeah.
We're making progress with information.
This is why communication is key. We all share information, and then we're so much stronger as a team.
Okay.
So it could be the same thing. Do I recognize the smith? The smith that's trying to destroy
Are you
it?
having a vision about the hourglass in hell?
I don't know. We're like very good friends, you know? We just share these things.
It seemed like a pretty generic smith. Nothing especially remarkable about it.
Okay.
It is a common name.
Yeah, but it is.
That's very good, Gunther. Okay, Gunther, you want to try it on next?
I will wear the hat.
I crown thee King Gunther.
I am no king.
I put it on him anyways.
Is that a Lord of the Rings reference, Chris?
No, but well, not directly, but in my spiritually, yes.
Spiritual. Okay. You, Gunther, you put the bell band on, and you hear a loud ringing of a bell in your mind. Before you appears a vision. You see two eagles perched on a tree that has very few leaves left on it. And as you are looking at them, the remaining leaves on the tree slowly begin to fall off and float around the eagles, falling gently to the ground below them.
I share that with the group. This is a strange vision in that where I'm from, there are not very many trees with leaves and also eagles.
Are there eagles where I'm from?
This isn't a very helpful headband.
Probably. I would say so.
Maybe we're seeing like stuff that relates to each other. So like maybe this thing is somehow bringing us closer together. Although it did say something about past, present, future.
So basically everything.
Past, present, future.
Could be anything really.
Future, present, past.
Just literally all of existence can be summarized in those 3 words. Natty will try to put the headband on over her wig and put it on her head.
Turns out Gus has just been reading the wrong descriptions for each of us because he put us in a different order.
You see a present vision, it's just an alternate viewpoint of us.
Yeah.
Just like third person mode.
Just through Giggy's eyes.
Natty, you put the bell band on over your head, and like the others, you hear a really loud bell sounding.
I harmonize with it.
How does that sound?
I don't know. You haven't given me a key.
Cool. Oh, that's nice.
Good. You see a moon, like on a clear night, and a full moon shining. And as you can see it before you, it seems like a strong wind picks up, not just a gust, but like a consistently strong wind begins blowing across the landscape you see.
And the landscape is what?
A vast plain, as far as you can see, that's flat into the distance.
Like a Cessna or a 747. Listen to Black Box Down.
Doesn't it? No.
You can listen to it. I still get some ad money, but enough to please listen to it because it barely pays for itself. I don't make money off that show. So you have to listen to pay the hosting bill. Otherwise, it costs me money.
Well, that was a fun little party game. I guess we'll hold on to those little tidbits of information until they're relevant.
We'll have to ask Fizzmum how they got that and why they gave it to us. It's like a weird gift, you know.
That's fine. I'm gonna hold on to it, and I'll put the bell band into my inventory.
Okay, I don't want to rush anybody, but like, can we go inside? I am so excited. I haven't been here in so long.
I'm also like soaking wet right now. It's been raining out here, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Canonically speaking, if this entire time, we're all drenched, Natty's wig actually hasn't deflated at all and is somehow not wet and damp.
Magic.
I don't think any of us would have questioned that whatsoever.
All right, what's in this house?
It's a brick
House.
I thought it was an Orbu.
Rorbu.
I'm going to write that down because it's been mentioned multiple times, and I feel like we're going to get in a life and death situation where, gun to the head, I'm going to not remember that.
You open the door. Before you see a living room with a kitchenette. Looking around, you see that there is a fishing hole cut into the floor. There's some kind of throne with curtains and a metallic trunk. And then in this room, there appears to be the front door you just walked in on the west side, and an ascending rope ladder to the north, and a back door to the east. And there's porthole windows on all sides of this room.
Hello? Is anybody home? We got a key.
I put my hand on Natty's shoulder and I say, Bjorn has passed. It's been a while.
Well,
No,
I just want to know if anybody's in the house. That's just safety.
that's sure. Yeah. Okay. I chime in. Hello. It's Tolv.
No response.
Okay. You summon all of my olfactory senses and I sniff in the air to see what it smells like. If it reminds me, it makes me nostalgic.
Make me a scholar perception check with advantage.
Smell check? Okay, perception. Smell
Do a
check.
little
That's.
sniff check.
I'm not even going to roll the second one because that's a 20, nat 20.
That's where your nat 20
nice.
comes from.
Yeah,
You've been
yeah.
rolling crud this entire session, and then you take a whiff.
There are many smells that you can detect here because, this is like a living room and kitchenette area. But one of the things you can smell is some kind of like cooking oil and fish. Maybe, a lot of fish has been fried here, and it fills your nose and it fills your senses. And it's one of those things where you smell something familiar and it conjures a memory. Y'all ever have that where you smell something like, where do I know this from?
That triggers
Gus.
the memory the most out of any sense.
Yeah.
Yep. Sorry, John.
Oh, right.
It makes you think of Bjorn. You fried fish many times with him in the past, and it makes you think of the time you first met Bjorn many, many moons ago, many years ago. And it takes you back to that time when you first met him. You remember it as if it was yesterday. You look around and you see yourself underwater in murky seawater. You're carrying your warhammer and shield. Your shield once glowed brightly, but it doesn't any longer. It hasn't for several months. What does the crest on your shield look like? I don't remember.
It's like it's like the less than and the greater than symbols.
Right.
Kind of intersecting almost like an S, like the outline of an S.
Yeah. Is it left and right or is it vertical? Just for my clarification.
On the top is like the small point, and then going out to 2 points. And then right below that is like the 2 points going down to the small point. So it's literally kind of like the outline of an S.
Gotcha.
But like a straight S.
So it's a less than greater than with the less than like higher than the greater than.
Correct.
Almost as if like it's mouth inside of a mouth type thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is on my shield.
Yeah, and you look around. What do you do? What did you do in this situation, Tolv?
I'm trudging through the sand and I'm just walking and walking. And I feel like I've been doing it for months.
As you put your head down and continue walking, you feel something tickle your forehead.
Gee, what is that?
What is that?
You take a look because that's really unusual, and you right in front of your face is a fishing line with a lure at the end. What kind of bait did it have?
Oh, a big juicy worm.
Bjorn.
Bjorn always found the best worms.
What do you do with that fishing line, lure, and worm in front of your face?
Well, I guess I follow it. I'm not going to bite on because I don't like worms, but I like follow the line. I know that I'm nearby something, so maybe I give it a tug.
You give it a tug, and it begins slowly retracting back up to the surface. And you follow along with it and pop up above the surface. And greeting you in a rowboat is an orc. On the side of the rowboat, it's painted red with white lettering. It says, Peter Fleer. The orc is clean shaven. He's got a scarred cleft chin and a strong frame. He's got a green complexion and a tattoo on his right bicep. He's wearing a woolen overcoat, waxed smock, and oiled boots.
That's a handsome looking guy.
Oh, what are you doing here?
Well, I've been a little lost for some time, so saw this here worm, and I haven't talked to anybody in quite a while, so I thought I'd give it a little tug. Hello?
Oh, hello. Fancy meeting you. I am Bjorn.
Hello.
What might your name be?
Well, I typically go by the moniker Tolv.
Oh, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Yeah, you. It's me, Tolv.
Yoo-hoo! It's me, Bjorn. You see those houses over there? You seem pretty wet. If you'd like, you can stay with me and warm up and dry off.
Are you sure? I mean, have you seen me? I mean, are you just going to welcome a stranger into your home?
Oh, yeah. I think you are, as I like to say, inside you've klar.
I don't know what that means. Can you...
Ooh, I have much to teach you then. You have much to learn.
It means no worries for the rest of your days.
Hakuna Matata.
Okay. That's a nice memory.
You hop into the rowboat, and Bjorn rows both of you back to shore and opens the door to his fishing house, which is the Rorbrew you're in now. And he begins cooking up a fish fry that smells of cinnamon and basil.
It's a work in progress. Feels like it's missing something. What do you think, Tolv?
To be honest with you, I'm not very familiar with this dish. I don't eat much.
Well, perhaps it's a project we can work on together.
And with that, the memory begins to fade, and you're back in amongst your friends in the Rorbrew once again, smelling that same fish fry smell in the middle of the Rorbrew.
Is Tolv okay? He's been standing there for a very long time smelling.
Sorry, I just had a very lovely memory about the first time I met my good friend Bjorn.
You met Bjorn. Sorry.
Gunther sniffs to see if he has any memory.
You sniff, but there is no attached memory here for you, Gunther.
Not yet.
Tolv, how long ago was that time you met Bjorn?
Oh, I'd say just a couple of years, I would say. Somewhere thereabouts.
You said he was like a father figure to you, right?
Yeah, so...
A mentor.
Well, something more than a mentor, because I think Ironclad was technically like my father, but Bjorn showed me things that Ironclad never did. He was kind, and it was the first time that I'd experienced something like that.
Whoa.
And how what happened to Bjorn, if you are able to share?
Well, he sadly passed away, and that's when I began my journey towards the Mortalion. But it was a sickness that I'm not familiar with. I'm not very good with the medicines. I tried everything I could to keep him alive, but it was his time to go.
I'm very sorry.
I'm also sorry, Tolv. That must have been really hard.
Yeah, I've experienced a lot of loss in my life, but I think that one hit the hardest.
You don't know what the sickness was, you said.
No, it was rather sudden, and it happened very quickly, and there was just not a lot we could do, but it was a very difficult time.
Was there symptoms?
Fortunately, there was not much pain, but he did lose his weakness. The things that we used to do together, he didn't have the energy to do them, and he was very bedridden there towards the end. So I did everything I could, but, trying to feed him and going out and fishing on the T de Fleer, his rowboat, it was rather lonely, and it was really hard there towards the end because I didn't want to part ways with him. And then eventually, yeah, he let go one day.
Well, if there's one thing in life that's inevitable, it's death.
Yeah.
And apparently taxes.
That too, yeah. Natty, do you know if Bjorn is with your wife?
Well, I mean, everybody meets my wife. So even if he's not maybe necessarily with her right now, he's met her. He's met her.
Is she good to them?
Oh, yeah. Like I said, everybody loves her.
That warms my heart.
Yeah. That's why it's I feel your sadness, but I always have mixed feelings when people are kind of going through that, because I just feel like I wish I could bestow upon them my relationship with that kind of a change, because I understand your loss, and so I'm not belittling that, but it's so much more than that, and it's such a good thing, Like I said, they get to see my wife, and that's just a gift for everybody.
That helps. That helps a lot, knowing that.
That's a good way to think of it. It's a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
Well, should we maybe explore this place and see if there's any other, things that Bjorn left behind, or anything you might want to make sure you take with you?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind taking a look inside that chest over there.
Yeah, and just to be clear, this Rorboo has 3 levels. And I'm going to reread the description of this room just because a lot has happened since you all first walked in the door, just so you know. So you walked into this room and you see a fishing hole cut into the floor. There's a throne with curtains and a metallic trunk. The egresses are the front door to the west, which you walked in, an ascending rope ladder to the north, a back door to the east, and there are portal windows on all sides of the room. And Tolv, specifically, you said you were going to go check out the throne?
Yeah. Well, no, there was a chest there, right?
Okay, you want to go to the trunk?
Yeah.
Yeah, you walk over to the trunk, and it's a metallic trunk. It's a hinged portable box made of some kind of speckled metal. And now that you've gotten closer, you see there's an oily scroll on top.
What does it say?
You pick up the scroll, I assume you mean, right?
Yeah.
You pick up the scroll, and you identify it very quickly as the source of the smell. It smells of cooking oil and fish, and it's titled Tight Lines Fish Fry.
Oh, is it like a recipe?
Yeah. As you begin reading it, you see it's a list of ingredients and steps for cooking a fish fry recipe. It seems to be unfinished, and there's a little phrase scribbled at the bottom, and it says, "Good luck is bad luck."
Good luck.
Is that something that Bjorn would say? Like, is that one of those like philosophical things?
Do I know what that means? Do you have any recollection of Bjorn saying that?
Make a wisdom check with advantage.
Okay, I needed that advantage because I'm going to blow this big time. Oh my God, it's a nat 20. Look at that.
Your memories are all 20s in here. Yeah, you remember Bjorn would say that telling an angler good luck before they head out is bad luck. And it's a common superstition in the fishing crowd. It's like how you say break a leg to an actor. Similarly, anglers wish each other tight lines.
Oh, I share that with the group. I say, yeah, that's like a fishing tradition. It's something that Bjorn used to tell me about, among the other many things that he taught me.
From now on, Tolv, I'll tell you, I wish you a tight line, the tightest line.
It's very kind of you.
Tight.
And further in the scroll are ingredients and steps as well. And I can expand on those if you want. It's up to you. I'm not being cagey. Whatever you want, you tell me.
Meta talk. Is there anything, do you think, of significance, or like, is it worth sharing with the class, or is it like genuinely just a recipe?
I can't answer that because that'll tell you. Like,
okay, all right.
I can never answer that question.
Sure. Okay. Then yeah, share it with me, or if you wanna just give like a run through of it. Now I'm curious.
Yeah, here, I'll send it to you.
Oh, now guys, I'm going to share with you a very secret recipe that Bjorn gave to me. The ingredients are catch of the day, cooking oil, cinnamon, basil, flour, rotten eggs, hornmeal, and then there's a bunch of dots and question mark.
Yum.
The steps are to clean the fish, whisk eggs, mix seasoning and hornmeal, wash fish in egg and mixture, hang fish over fire, and then ... question mark.
Maybe you all could figure out the final ingredient or figure out the final step. Or not. It's up to you.
That could be fun. I am pretty hungry. Gotta feed the old belly here.
How about while the rest of the group explores Bjorn's... Oh my God, what is it called? A Rorboo.
There you go.
I'll go ahead and use the fishing hole there in the middle and get some fish, and then I can just like go through the steps, remembering the days I was with Bjorn, and just like go through kind of like what my old what is it called when you have like a ritual, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to feel at home, and I want to cook everybody a meal.
Sure. And just for clarity, the fishing hole has like an affixed fishing rod topped with a tiny bell, and there's a line dropped into the water below.
Okay. I'll draw the line up. I'll put some bait on it. I'm sure I have some rations or something, and then I'll just go about fishing.
Okay. Sounds good. While Tolv is fishing, what do you want to do? Sounds like Natty, like John Natty, you may have had an idea.
Actually, I'd like to talk to Private Parts if I could.
Okay. Yeah. Ooh, hello, loading Private Parts.
That's pretty funny. Hey, Private, I'm kind of I feel like we're at a point where I don't quite know what we should be doing next for our objective, seeing as how we were supposed to come here and we were supposed to see something about if people are like being impersonated. We found Fizzmum and Pancake, and we confirmed that there are people that are impersonating as them. Is our objective complete? Should we be heading back to the base soon?
Perhaps it would make sense for us to begin repairs on the boat outside of the dock. and we can use it to try to find the sea drinker.
Okay. I appreciate that. I like to get some direction.
Laskiel kind of perks up at that and says,
Oh, I can take a look at that. I can begin repairs on that boat.
Sure. Could you? I have a big favor to ask of you, Laskiel.
Go ahead.
I'm trying to be a good mama, and I'm trying to teach my boy lessons. Do you think you could take Giggy with you and you could teach him a lesson on how to be a handyman?
That I can do. I'm very knowledgeable about fixing things and about handiwork.
Okay, we can resolve that later when we meet up with Laskiel. But I've been trying to remember to implement this pedagogic method that Micah made for Giggy.
yeah. So you're going to be trying to teach him via watching the handiwork.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, thank you so much.
Come on, little one. Let me teach you some stuff.
Natty surrounds her child with only the best examples to follow. A former prisoner that we just sprung from jail that we've known for 5 minutes.
Yeah. The enemy of your enemy is your friend.
There you go.
There you go.
Listen, y'all. If I should be worried about anybody, we know it should be Laskiel.
Yeah.
Hey, Laskiel, don't give him any more sharp stuff. He's got plenty.
As Laskiel and Giggy would leave, I would direct them to Bjorn's tools and things like that, so that they have like the necessary tools in order to fix the Tita Fleer.
Absolutely.
My thinking is we look at the map, come up with a plan to and a timeline to leave, and then make preparations until then.
Okay.
And you're the leader, right, Gunther?
Yes.
That sounds very official. Private Parts hears you give out these commands and begins scribbling notes.
Can we pull out the map, and then also knowing Tolv, I know you're fishing, but take a look at it because I would imagine you'd be more familiar with it. So like Tolv and everyone, let's just look in here and see what we know.
At this point, Tolv would have caught a few fish, and I think that he'd be cleaning them up.
Tolv, you pull up the reel. No, you get a bite, and you find a giant crab at the end of the line.
Oh, well, that's not a fish. Okay, so bye, little crab. And then I put him back in the water.
Okay. And I assume, Tolv, you keep fishing.
Yep.
Okay.
Could Doug go up the ladder?
Yeah. Doug, you begin going up the rope ladder to the north, to the second floor. Is that what you said?
Correct.
Okay, yeah, you go up to the second floor, and this appears to be some kind of bedroom. You see a nightstand with a book, a wardrobe that has some kind of bas relief carvings on it, and a clock with a circular mosaic pattern. From this room, the egresses are the rope ladder that you just came up, and there are portal windows on all sides.
Okay, so there doesn't seem to be another way to go up a floor from in here? Like this seems to be the top floor?
I thought there were 3 floors.
Oh, but the rope ladder continues as well, up past where you are.
Okay. Could I look, what's the book that's on the nightstand?
Yeah, you walk over to the nightstand, and on top of it is a closed black book. The title is written in Celestial, but as we established a little while ago, Doug, you read Celestial.
Ooh. I picked a good language.
You really did. The title of the book written on the spine is The End.
Oh, gosh.
Spoilers.
Is it one of those books that has like the description of what's the whole book is about on the back of it?
You know how old books used to be like.
About the author.
You don't know, since it's, the back is on the nightstand. So you reach out to flip it over to see if anything's on the back. And as you touch it, the book opens up and you realize that the entire book is made of black sand. And as it's laying there on the nightstand, it begins flipping through all the pages very quickly, and it flips to the last page.
Oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God.
As it lays open in front of you, words begin to form, written in Celestial on the page.
Oh, so this says, Kings shall rise in days of doomed, saved by bathing blood presumed. Fall they shall return askew, imago Dei mutata hue.
That last line is ancient Celestial, like you saw earlier. You don't entirely know exactly what it means. Something about the image of God changing?
It sounds like zombies. Grumble, shut up.
I was like, do I hear that? That just grumbles downstairs. also imagine when Doug was reading that passage, all of like the whole room was spinning with wind and like all of his fur was like. I imagine this is not something I could physically take with me.
Yeah, sure, you could.
I feel like this message in here might become important at some point for us to remember. Could I just like maybe write it down in a notepad that I would have on me?
Yeah, you absolutely can make a note of it.
Okay, I'm scared to take it with me. I feel like I'm cursed in some way.
Cursed.
I'm Micah Reisinger, writer, editor, and composer of Stinky Dragon. Beneath the dramatic dice rolls, the spellbinding storytelling, and hilarious hijinks lies a secret ingredient. A force so powerful that few dare speak its name, but you seem trustworthy. It's called music. Every piece of original music from Stinky Dragon is available to you for the low price of free? Free. Are we sure about that? That's a typo, right? It's got to be a little bit more than that. Okay, it is free. Okay. All right. My entire catalog of Stinky Dragon soundtracks, that's 13 albums of sweeping orchestral scores, pulse-bounding battle themes, and emotional ballads, now yours to underscore your epic D&D sessions or set the mood while you mow the lawn or walk your fur babies across the road. I don't know, whatever you do to listen to music. Stream Stinky Dragon soundtracks now wherever you get your music for free.
Hey everyone, I want to tell you about something really awesome we're doing over on our Patreon. We've been playing Baldur's Gate 3, the award-winning D&D video game, but completely in character as Mud, Bart, Kyborg, and Gum Gum. So if you think our normal adventures are chaotic, wait until you see us in a fully open-world RPG where anything is possible. Bart's looking for love, Kyborg tries to solve every problem with backflips, Mud tricks me into using Bart as a weapon, and Gum Gum is learning about life and where babies come from. So if you like the Infinites, this is for you, and it's only on our Patreon. We've got a whole collection of exclusive gameplay videos, like John and I playing Elden Ring as Gunther from Campaign 3. There's also D&D one-shots and mini-campaigns with new characters and wild adventures. So go to stinkydragonpod.com where you can access all of our exclusive content and a bunch of other cool perks. That's stinkydragonpod.com. It is the best place to directly support the making of this show. Thank you so much.
How's Tolv's fishing going?
Why don't you roll me an animal handling check?
Animal handling. Oh, you know it's going to be bad.
I rolled it for you last time, but that wasn't fun. You should roll it.
12.
You pull out from the fishing hole a giant fish, a giant sea bass.
Ooh, cha-ching. Then, like I said earlier, not to take up too much time, Tolv's going to go about his routine. He's been through this before. He's going to go clean the fish, take the gills off, all that stuff, take the bones out, and he's going to go about making everyone dinner.
Sure. Tolv, you continue your process going through the motions of like prepping the fish and beginning to cook it. Was anyone else got something they want to do?
Well, looking at that map.
Laskiel has a map, and that was in the planning room, like where all the knolls were. It's a map with like of the sea. The half knolls and the knolls were looking for something on that map. They couldn't find it, but Laskiel knows where it is on the map.
Gotcha. Okay.
So there's a map, but it's not as precise. There's knowledge, which Laskiel has, which can be used with the map.
Gotcha. Understand. Okay. I guess Gunther would go up and check out that third floor with Doug.
Well, I'm currently on the second floor.
Yeah, Doug's still on the second floor.
I guess.
I like to think that Gunther is like continuing up the rope ladder, and as he does so, he passes the second floor, and he sees like Doug with all of his fur out, and the wind blowing, and the book wide open on the nightstand, and Gunther's just like, not my problem. He just keeps going up to the third floor and just climbs right past it.
I just want him to hear the echoes of the booming, like, "Kin shall rise in days of doom."
Some real Evil Dead stuff going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doug's just like,
floating above the book.
So you see that and continue on your way, Gunther, and you find your way to the third floor, which is a circular room with glass walls. You see a doused lantern in the center of the room with a mirror behind it. And there appears to be a sea chart and map on the floor. And the only exit is the descending rope ladder, which you came up.
Glass walls, a sea chart in the center.
Yeah.
And that was about it?
Yeah.
Could Gunther take the sea chart and those things? I assume they're going to be useful. There are things that you take, right?
Yeah, it's just like a chart on paper that you can take with you.
Okay, I'll take that.
Make me a perception check, Gunther.
Okay, all right, with pleasure. 5. What you got?
Yeah, as you walk out there, you notice that the glass walls are really thick panels of glass that seem to be sealed by some kind of astrogal, and it's just being peppered with incessant rain.
Is there anything I see out in the distance that, well, I'll just take a peek, look and see if we escaped that skull cave and just make sure there's no one chasing after us. There's anything else I could see out there.
You take a look out, and as you look out, you can see in the distance, there's a rowboat on fire in the sea.
Oh, like the rowboat that they went out to go repair?
I mean, it's at a distance, so you can't see it, but you would assume no, because it's too far for them to have gone in the amount of time that has passed since you saw the rowboat yourself.
It's on fire. Is it look like something that's close enough where it could be, we could go save them, or is it like...
It's pretty far in the distance.
Okay, I want to run back down and tell Tolv, who I consider the master of the sea. There is a boat on fire. It's a rowboat. It is out in the distance. I don't know if it's a danger or not. And I point. And I look at the sea chart, and I see if is it in the sea chart, do I see, is the bay represented? Could I point to where it was?
Yeah, you can. And I'm going to send a bit of information to Blaine.
I think I might know what that rowboat is. What did you see? What all was it? Like a small rowboat?
It's a small rowboat. It was on fire, looked to be in danger because fire is never a good thing on a lake or river or ocean.
Okay, I'm going to do to you what Bjorn did to me, and I'm going to teach you about a local tradition. So, in your community, what happens when you're dead? When people pass on, what do you do with their bodies?
With their bodies, they are buried. They're burrowed for final last time.
We give our bodies to the sea. So what we do is we put them in a boat and we push them out to the water. And then we shoot a flaming arrow at them, and then it engulfs the boat, and that's how we part with the dead. So what you saw was probably just a funeral.
Oh.
So it's no need for alarm. It's perfectly normal. It's very sad, and you can take a moment to, think of the past,
I do not know them to think of.
Well, just out of a sign of respect, let's say.
Okay, I will think of them. Or try to pretend I think of them. Gunther imagines someone on fire.
Oh, I got a little bit of information, but I'm going to act like Bjorn or Tolv knows this. The fire never goes out, apparently. I think in these Viking funerals, it's the fire giver. So it's kind of like, I guess, like a dichotomy with the water. Was it the water drinker, the sea drinker? There's the fire giver, but the fires don't go out. That specific fire that's out there, that's Bjorn.
What?
Yes. So
what?
Yeah, it was an
honor. We need to save it.
No, he is passed. He's dead. That's like his memorial. It was an honor given by the fire eater. So he's out there and he's just forever, blazing. So.
Oh my goodness.
It's pretty metal, isn't it?
This is a good thing. You seem unconcerned.
I mean, it's an honor, like I said. It's just pretty cool when you think about it. I mean, I bet it's super useful for local fishermen who need to find their way.
Could Doug have come down from the ladder at this point to join them?
Absolutely.
Hey, Tolv, quick question. The second floor up there, was that Bjorn's bedroom?
Yeah.
Okay. He had a really creepy book in there. I think it was about death, but it kind of implied that he might rise again in something called Days of Doomed.
I don't think that Bjorn's going to be coming back anytime soon.
He's on fire, if you did not know.
Yeah. Basically, I catch Doug up on that. There is a burning memorial out on the ocean, and it's like a never-ending Viking funeral for Bjorn.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty cool, right?
Like, that's, sounds like torture.
That's what I thought.
So, Gus, can I say that at this point, I've like gone through all of the steps. I've cleaned the fish, whisked the eggs, mixed seasonings in Horton meal, washed the fish in the egg mixture, and then I'm hanging the fish over the fire. And then for the final ingredient, does Tolv know what it is? Like if I took a crack at what it is, or was that something that Bjorn never cracked?
Bjorn never cracked it, so it's up to you to discover the final ingredient.
I'm gonna go with garlic salt.
All right, garlic salt, man. That's a utility. That's a must-have in every kitchen.
Okay, I put garlic salt on it. I finish cooking the fish and I put it out for everybody, and then
Natty's outside with Gigi and yells at, "Hey Tolv, you didn't put garlic on that at all, right?"
Why?
Gigi hates garlic.
More for us.
You know how little babies sometimes are picky eaters? I think it's time for Gigi to be a big boy and to try it out. I think it's going to be very good.
All right,
It sounds good.
I'm gonna let you handle that.
Okay, I'm going to actually go ahead and ring that dinner bell that we stole off that dead guy, and I say, food's ready.
Gunther happily takes a plate.
Okay, how does it taste? I'm going to serve up some for everybody.
Sure.
Oh, I'm excited.
All right, so I think, Gunther, you said you ate first, right?
Yeah.
Roll me 2 d20s.
All right. Pretty lucky, 2 13s.
Oh, yeah. You think it's really delicious. You love it. You think it's awesome.
This is so good, Tolv. I think you did the best job ever of fish.
Can I tell if that was the secret, if that was the missing step, the missing ingredient?
Let's see what other people say. Who else ate?
I did.
Yeah, go, Doug.
Yeah, Doug, roll me 2 d20s.
A 12 and a 4, total 16.
It's good. You know, it's not like mind-blowing. It's not the best dish you've ever had, but it's solid. It's pretty good.
Tolv, I think this is the best dish I've ever had, Tolv.
Yeah. Roll me a deception check, Doug.
Oh gosh.
A 4.
You're not sure entirely if Doug is being earnest, Tolv, but the sentiment, Doug's heart is in the right place.
Okay. Natty.
Gigi's gonna go next.
I'm gonna cut a piece for Gigi. I'm gonna do the whole like, here comes the boat, woot woot. It's a tugboat. I don't know why. And I try to feed Gigi.
I roll for feeding Gigi. Rolled a 6.
So if it's a failure, does that mean that I get to feed them successfully?
As in Gigi failed to thwart
Dodge.
you away? Yeah, let's say that. I like that.
Sure.
Does Gigi need to roll 2 d20s?
Roll the 2 d20s, yeah.
Okay. That's an 18. That's another 18, actually.
Oh.
You know, you have to kind of force Gigi to take that first bite, but then after the first bite, like, Gigi can't get enough. He keeps like reaching for more and trying to eat more and more.
Well, you did something most people can't. You got Gigi to do something he don't want to do.
How would I know if that's the missing ingredient? I'm like,
real fast before I answer that, from a metagaming perspective, everyone who ate it is going to have advantage on any d20 roll for the rest of this session.
Oh my
Nice.
goodness.
To answer your question, Blaine/Tolv, maybe there is no like one single right answer. You know, it's cooking. There could be many right answers. And it just so happens that the ingredient you came up with works.
And as Chef Gusteau says, anyone can cook.
So Tolv wants to stand up after everyone's eaten, and he's kind of fidgeting nervously, and I think he's been doing that this entire time. And he says, gang, before we get going, I think I need to come clean about something. I haven't been completely honest with all of you.
What? I'd never noticed that you dodged a lot of questions about the history of your past.
Yeah, it's about time. I think now that I'm here at Bjorn's house and I recognize the importance of our mission and how close I've grown to all of you, I think it's time that I come clean. So, you remember when we ran into Ironclad, right?
Yeah, like an hour ago.
Yeah, it was not very long ago. I mean, it was before the cave thing, but anyways. He mentioned that there are people running around, acting like I can't remember his exact words, but he was basically like, "Oh, there are people who are acting like things that they are not and such."
Yeah.
You know, he was being like really cryptic and mean, and I hate him. Well, when I say that Ironclad is like my father, what I mean to say is he's actually my creator. Yeah.
So is your mother?
No. With that, I take a knife and I cut around the forearm of my arm, and I pull the skin from my arm and reveal a Thaumatek arm that looks a lot more like that leg that we ran into in that cave. And I say,
oh my goodness.
Everyone, I am a cybernetic organism, living tissue over a middle endoskeleton. I'm a Thaumatek.
Hold on. First of all, what the heck? Second of all, were you like a wheel boy that got like something happened to you and you got recreated as whatever you just said, or like is that how you started?
Well, if you give me a moment, I'll tell you my whole story and I'll answer any questions. And if you guys are upset with me, then I'm open to that. I know that I've been dishonest and I haven't been outright truthful, so I'm happy to go through and process all of these emotions with you guys. It started several years ago. I've lost track, and basically, Ironclad had a penchant for creating machinery, specifically machines for war, and he created 11 different beings. Robots, fighters that he would use as crew on his ship, and I am the 12th one, hence my name being Tolv, which is 12 from the land that I come from. So that's why I have no last name, and that's why my name is Tolv.
You're a robot?
Well, yes, it was kind of weird because, you know, for years, Ironclad and the crew and what I would consider my brothers and sisters, we sailed the seas and doing terrible things that I, looking back, wish I had never done, but at the time I didn't have any choice in the matter. You know, I was just listening to what he told me, and I couldn't break away. I couldn't do anything about it. I just had to listen to him.
Or is it where you had to automatically follow orders, or did you just not know?
Yeah, the closest thing I can compare it to is like if you guys were under like a spell. It was just something that I couldn't say no to.
So how did you break out of that?
Well, that's the thing. You know, one day, I don't know how or why, but I just kind of woke up. I snapped out of it. And so did some of my other brothers and sisters. And we were tired of what Ironclad was telling us to do. So we mutinied. And we were going to try to take the ship so that we could end the roar and the madness. But he overpowered us. And for my treachery, Ironclad pushed me off the ship. He made me walk the plank. And for months, I was under the water. And I was just walking around aimlessly because I couldn't die. And I'm made of metal, so I just kind of sunk to the bottom, and I was just wandering around until I ran into Bjorn. So when I said I was stranded on an island, I was actually lying. I was underwater.
Nothing happened to Ironclad that made you become powerful and gave you strength to break away, or did it just happen? Or do you not know?
Probably an update got pushed through.
Well, like I said, I don't know, Gunther. It's just like I woke up someday. I don't know if it was some sort of divine intervention or, you know, I don't know, but something just kind of snapped. You know, after years of doing terrible things, I just finally woke up.
Do you think it was the sea drinker?
I mean, it could be, you know, that was, you know, we've talked about the sea drinker and we've run into things, you know, like, seems like Bjorn had some sort of a relationship with them. But yeah, that was like, while I was underwater and I was looking for something, anything, I just kind of reaching out to like a higher power. And I think that the sea drinker just finally led me to Bjorn, and that's how we crossed paths. So maybe they did wake me up. I don't know.
How many of your brothers and sisters, the 11, were they become aware, and what happened to them?
I don't know. It happened all very quickly. I don't know what happened to them, but it seemed like most of them woke up. And I don't know if some of them decided to stay with Ironclad and some of them turned. All the details are very hazy. It was all very sudden. It was over just as quickly.
So, you're technically a machine.
Well, yeah.
This might be a weird question,
Yeah.
But do you think I could examine you? Just, for my own research. Because I'm just like so fascinated by how he built you, and just it's just state-of-the-art tech.
As you're asking this question to Tolv, Doug, you notice that the sigil on Tolv's shield begins glowing faintly and then brighter and brighter. And before you can comment on it, there's a loud pounding at the door, and the door bursts open.
Oh, no.
You see the silhouette of a golden thaumatek, and you hear a voice call out,
Tolv? It's you!
Recognize them? I mean, I probably do, but what is this?
We're going to have to find out in the next episode of Tales from the Stinky Dragon.
Things just getting interesting.
So much lore.
It was getting so interesting. You
It's still interesting. It's still going to be interesting next episode, too. Thanks, everyone, for listening. Don't forget that if you want to support the show, you can go to stinkydragonpod.com. We'll have an episode of Second Wind coming out next week, and we're going to talk about things from this episode, things about the podcast in general, other things going on with us. And then the week after that, we'll have a new episode, and we'll find out who it is at the door. Again, stinkydragonpod.com. We'd appreciate it. But thanks a bunch, and we'll see you guys next time.
You're going to want to listen to the second one because I have a lot to say about how
I have a lot of
many
questions.
breadcrumbs I've been laying in front of you people. You have no idea. I've been sitting on this. It's this hot secret, this goss.
I'm pretty observant, and I don't think I picked up a single one.
I've not seen any bread. I lost the trail. I would be lost in the forest.
Gunther's just been eating all the breadcrumbs as you've been dropping them.
Did you know it's our birthday? That's right. June 1st is the anniversary of Tales from the Stinky Dragon going independent. And in order to celebrate our birthday, I think you should head over to store.stinkydragonpod.com and check out some of our anniversary merch. We've got all kinds of anniversary merch, including a commemorative glass, sticker, and we've also got Patreon tier exclusive merch available for all of our different tiers of our Patreon. These items will be available for purchase all month long, so all June long, you can head over to store.stinkydragonpod.com. Check it out, pick it up, but make sure you pick it up before the end of June, because once June's over, all of this merch is gone forever. Again, that is store.stinkydragonpod.com. New episodes of Tales from the Stinky Dragon premiere every other Wednesday wherever you stream podcasts and on the Stinky Dragon YouTube channel. Want to listen to the show 48 hours early and ad-free? Become a patron at stinkydragonpod.com or become a member of Beacon at beacon.tv. Both memberships support the show and receive access to our exclusive bonus series Second Wind and a member-only Discord for their respective platform. Become a patron, you get access to even more exclusive bonus content, Stinky Dragon community and Discord events, and you get your name shouted out. Just like Sam, also known as Smarsh, I think I've heard of that guy, Egg Fried Rice 06, Rumble Grist, Elephant Buckley, and IndieWitch 25. These patrons directly support the show and get ad-free episodes, access to our exclusive patron-only Discord server, bonus content like Second Wind and Behind the Screen, and much more. In fact, here's a quick peek from Canon Episode 18, Second Wind.
Do you remember in the very first episode, the monologue
a little
kind of
poem?
introduction?
Let me make a sorry attempt. So here's what happened in Midrift, where we are in right now. That used to be where all them godlike creatures got to have shenanigans and hang out and play Scrabble together. Some of them were like, I'm over this party. We're going to go to someplace more exclusive, close the VIP door, and didn't tell anybody where they put the key or the passcode to get in. And then that left Infernus and her homies with no after party place to go to. And so they said, screw you guys, we'll make our own party, and it's going to have World of Warcraft and Dr. Pepper. Now they're like, you know what? Screw this. I'm going to go find how to get to their place. And because they tried to call the cops to stop the party, but the cops couldn't stop the party. So they're doing it on their own. So now they got to find the sea drinker who knows how to get into Hyrule. That's the story. That's the story.
Yeah.
That's the story.
Something like that.
I would say that we were both pretty close.
You didn't do a single attempt at that, Chris.
I did.
What did you say?
They were in a place they wanted to go to. They got a bad hand.
That's some serious, the kids who used to work with me on projects in school and then make me do the whole project. And then when we did presentation, they act like they did something. That's what that was bringing to the party.
Chris. Well, it's a team project.
Again, that's stinkydragonpod.com. We can't thank you enough for your support that lets us make this show. Listeners who interacted with us on the Stinky Dragon Discord had NPCs named after them in this episode, like Bjorn, voiced by James Willems, at James.Willems from Answer For It Show, a new weekly comedy podcast. Fizmum, named after Kim Karras, voiced by Aaron Zek, at Aaron Zek. Lousy Laskiel, named after Alex B007, voiced by Chad James, at Chad James RT from Death Battle. Elva, voiced by Charlotte Avery, at Moms_Home from Astro Goblin. And Private Parts, voiced by Ben Ernst, at Halcyon_Ben. This week's error question was submitted by Joshua Smith. This episode of Tales from the Stinky Dragon was produced by Ben Ernst, written, edited, and composed by Micah Reisinger, with additional editing work by Catherine Arnold and David Saunier. Tune in next time for another thrilling episode of Tales from the Stinky Dragon.
Well, hello everyone. Welcome back again to the Dougs on the 1s and 2s equals 3s. It's been a while since we've connected last here during our mid-episode potty break. Once again, Doug does not have to potty because Doug went potty before the show like a very smart boy that he is. Things going well. We're learning about this place here. We're trying to find a sea drinker. We're learning about Tolv's daddy issues. He's got a lot of them. A lot to unpack this episode. But, thanks for tuning in. Do we have any guests here on the show with us today? We do not. It seems that everyone else also went potty. So it's just Doug here, all on his own, just hanging out. All by myself. I'm okay being all by myself. Until next time.
Hey, Doug.
Natty, hello, welcome to the show.
Doug, I got a fun fact for you.
What's that, Natty? Lay it on me.
You know how this episode we had some doing-ons with some fish with Tolv?
Mm-hmm.
Fun fact, there's no such thing as a fish.
No such thing as a fish?
Uh-huh. There's no such thing as a fish.
Why don't you educate our listeners on that, Natty?
Well, there's been some, my community, I'm always talking about, we got one fella, he's a big, I don't know, there's something called like a zoologist or something, or biologist or something like that. And he studied and he figured out that while there's so many things in the sea, none of them are actually closely related to each other. It's like there's like a salmon, but it's not closely related to anything else. It's closer related to something like a camel than the other creatures that are in the ocean. And so there's actually no such thing as a fish.
Wow. Okay. Well, butter my biscuit. I learned something today.
Yeah, I figured with all your knowledge, if I can add a little bit just to the top of that little Jenga tower, I'm happy with myself.
Wow. Hopefully I don't learn too much more, otherwise it might topple over,
Speaking of which, I got to look at your registry. I forgot. So thank you for the reminder, Gunther.
It literally is just a honeymoon fund. That's it.
Hey Siri, remind me in 3 minutes to look at Barbara's registry.
3 minutes?
3 minutes. I meant 3 hours. I'm stupid.
Yeah, I was like, what?
Change that to 3 hours.
Mid-recording. Check Barbara's registry.
3 minutes.
Yeah, that's it. That would be kind of dumb.